So he's on here now. Should be on here.
Kate Bush. Who the fuck
Hello
is
there.
that picture?
How you doing, dude? You all right?
I'm really good, mate. I think it was actually my fault, not yours, because I didn't have the app. You know what I mean? I'm just way behind on all technology.
No, it should have been fine. I think it was us because
Right.
it had a wobble at the start of the show and was like, give me a lot of messages. And I just ignored it. Thought everything's going to be fine.
Oh, well, here we are. We're here. We made it.
So, Standard Sound Project, SSP. Love it.
Statutory sick pay.
Statutory sick pay, yeah. Have you been sick a few times, fella? Oh, you all right?
Probably, yeah. I was sick in the head all the time, mate. So, yeah. To be fair, if my boss is listening, yeah, every time I have been sick, it's been completely genuine.
Yeah, I'm sure it has, mate. I'm sure it has. What do you do for a job then? Apart from...
I've got two jobs. So I do one normal job in the day. I work at Parcel Force, picking up stuff, chucking it out of a lorry. So
yeah,
that's my
parcel fast. Yeah,
that's my normal life. And then I've just literally rushed from my other job, which is coaching at Coventry City Football Club Academy. So I do a bit there. I've been there about 15 years. That's my passion alongside music. I'm not really into parcels. It's not my thing, you know what I
mean? No one is, mate. I was gonna say no fucker is, but there you go. Apart from the people
only opening them, you know what I mean? If someone bought you a present, but no one's ever bought me a present, so.
Oh, Matt, that's really interesting, that, mate. Yeah, I used to be in logistics. I used to work for XL and a few other people, Seaver. So I know what it's all about. Yeah, but it feeds your passion, doesn't it? You know, it's a bit like stuff I do.
Yeah, do you know what? I mean, I was a postman and now I work for Parcel Force, and I don't think I'd have. It allows you a bit of thinking time because you know you're doing a repetitive job, and actually it's probably been the most beneficial thing I've ever done to do that job. To think of melodies, you know, like when I was getting stuff sent over, you know, you could think of stuff in your head because you're that bored, and then you think, shit, here I am doing the worst job in the world, one of them. Maybe I could get out of here, but I think, you know, like, so you kind of like start thinking a little bit more. I love that side of it.
Well, you're right there, and I don't know what the terminology is for it, but tasks like that, like, because I do a lot of thinking when I'm ironing. I do a bit of ironing because your mind's free from all the other inputs that's coming to it, and it allows you to process things and come up with that. And a lot of time I go, that's an idea, and then you know what you mean. You're writing it down and thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's good, mate.
So you do a bit of ironing?
Yeah, mate. I
do a bit of ironing.
Ironing, yeah. I do most of the housework, mate. I do most of it.
Love that.
Love that. The wash, well, she can use it now, but like when I get a new dishwasher, well, how do you work this and how do I put the setting?
You give it a coaching session.
Yeah, one of the first things we installed in the house when we moved in was my dishwasher. And as soon
That's
as
not a nice thing to call it.
As soon as it breaks, I get a new one. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so that's interesting. Parcel Force, we like that, and keeping everyone going. So when everyone's moaning, all the trucks on the road, yeah, well, you keep ordering stuff from Amazon and eBay and all the rest of it. Well, how do you think it gets to you, love? Do you know what I mean? All the ruining the roads and the planet. Well, no, stop ordering. Get off your ass and go get it yourself.
No one stops. So some of the stuff we have coming through is just like, what? You could have, like, you know, washing up liquid and that. You've not got a Premier near you. You know what I mean?
I nearly ordered flights.
And then it sprays all over you. And you're just like, what? I wish I'd have listened in school.
Yeah, but us creatives didn't listen in school because we were romancing and dreaming about a bigger thing. I was dreaming about being a radio presenter when I was about 11, and here we are now, sometime later. Now, go on.
No, I say at school, I mean, I was like into PJ and Duncan, and then Oasis come out, and like I suddenly went in the day after with a Mancunian accent. My teacher said, like, why are you speaking like a Manc? You know what I mean?
Oh, Kevin and Penny sketch where he comes in.
Yeah, it was. I went from like having spiky hair, like doing crazy cats moves and that, to like screwing in, like, you know what I mean, sticking my twos up at everyone.
I love that. Hey, tell us about this, because we'll talk about the music in a minute, because I think there's a couple of things you've said that's interesting. So because I was one of the questions that sometimes asked Lele Records, I would say City or United, meaning Manchester United or Manchester City. I'm not a football fan in the slightest, but obviously you're going to say City, as in Coventry City, aren't you?
Absolutely, yes. The proper Sky Blues.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm a mad Cov fan. So are most people in Cov that I know. We've got a massive like community of Coventry fans. It's just a great place.
Yeah. Well, I live in Nuneaton, mate, down the road, but I'm not original. Yeah, but I'm originally from Manchester. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I
Yeah,
didn't. You live in the Nuneaton, so
yeah.
where? So where's that place you are now? Is that like you rented that out? Is that like a? Is that your man shed in Nuneaton? So you're only up the road.
Yeah, I'm in Nuneaton. This is in my back garden. It's my cabin. I've got a log cabin in the
Oh
back garden.
wow!
It's where we do Dougie Fest from here. So we have bands. See the curtains over there? We have that
Yeah,
area over there. That's where we can have bands in. So maybe we'll get you
that's
over.
class.
Maybe get you over
I
and
didn't know you were so close.
do a session. You can do a session there.
Oh,
We
I'm up
have
for that.
Dougie Fest in May, which is outside. I'm extending the deck, and then we have a load of bands, and we live stream it, and yeah, that's what I do.
wicked.
So yeah, Cuffs it. I've been to the ground a few times, but not to watch a match.
Well, actually, it's a lovely ground. The atmosphere is great. Actually, you just had Charm on, which are a decent band, to be fair.
They
And
are
the
good.
drummer in Charm's actually from Coventry,
Oh, really? Interesting.
and he actually played with the Institutes last week because Kirk was away when they played at Why Not Festival. He covered for them.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's just how things connect, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just brilliant. Yeah, I saw actually. You talked about Oasis. I saw Oasis at Coventry City Ground about 3 days before they split up. It was about the time they split up.
I was there. I was there. Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, it was a bit. It was a good gig, but it was. I think it was. Yeah, it was just. You could tell they were on
Yeah,
their way
you
out.
could tell. You could tell
Yeah.
Liam wasn't having it, was he? You could tell because he
No.
wandered. He wandered off at one point and for a bit, and then come wandering
Yeah.
back again. And
I think the Enemy supported them. Is that right?
that's right. Yeah,
The Enemy. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
It was a brilliant thing, and I've been to a couple of corporate events upstairs in the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been up there, so that's
Yeah, the boring bit.
yeah, exactly. That's all I've done. But I'm not into football at all. I couldn't say who plays. Couldn't say when the season's on. But anyway, so what do you do? So you coach the kids, do you? The young'uns?
Yeah, I just coached. I've been there a long time, really. I would say I ain't far off being one of the longest serving coaches there because it's kind of like it's always been a bit of a stepping stone. People come to Cov, they do well, and then they move on,
Yeah.
which is fair because not many of them from Cov, but I'm from Cov, so it's kind of like brings its benefits for me. Obviously, putting the effort in to bring players through into the first team, and then obviously getting free tickets to games.
Well, I should imagine that's a little perk for the thing, isn't it? So that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Lele Records, the City fans, you see, and he's got proper Sky Blues, question mark.
Yeah, you are, I mean, I've been to Main Road when there was about 6,000 there, and I think it was Rossler, Juve Rossler scored against the City.
Now, yeah, you're right, because I'm not into football, but anyway, someone used to give us tickets, but in another previous life, and I've been to Man City ground, and it was when Rosler was playing, Uwe Rosler. Yeah. So yeah,
It had that Highfield Road feel anyway. The ground had the Highfield Road feel. I love that ground. I actually, with the lads, we went to the Etihad. That was a great experience, man. That was lovely. The food was better than the match, though, to be fair. But,
I've been there.
It was Everton.
I've been there a couple of times to watch one football match with a guy that I used to work for, and he wanted me to drive. I think we watched Newcastle, and I've seen who else did I see there? Oasis.
Nice.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was brilliant because partway through the gig, Liam looked up and he pointed and went, "Get out of our effing seats." Because obviously,
Really?
yeah. Anyway, Rosalind said, "We're here to talk about your music."
yeah,
3 hours later,
I mean that's just my mind whirling away.
No, it's right because that's what I want the interviews to be. It's not about just this and the other, just the normal music. I think the best way to do to have an interview or when you're talking to people is to get to understand who they are, and then people get to know the person behind the thing. Because obviously we have got your track. I'm not going to play any of it because I think it's still got to be remastered. But I've listened to it today. Love it. It's great. Yeah. So, firstly, what's behind the name of the Standard Sound Project? Where did that come from?
Basically, funnily enough, Standard Sound Project is something I actually come back to. I had it when I was about 18 with a couple of mates, and it was kind of like something that doesn't really have a set theme, really. So it can be a bit of anything, really. I'm into so much music. I didn't really want it. You'll know it's me because I've got quite a voice that you can kind of tell. Jesus Christ, that's Reed singing. Ouch.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of everything. It's kind of like it allows me also to just kind of like pull other people in and say, do you want to do a track? And I think that's where I'm at the minute. But I just like it. I didn't want to call it Reed Curry. You know what I mean? Because I think for a start, Hawley told me in the institutes. It's like the world doesn't need another solo artist, and I thought about it, and he is right. I think there's a lot of them out there at the minute where they're kind of like I don't know, it just puts too much on me. You know what I mean? I'd rather it just allow me. Standard Sound Project allows me just to do what the hell I want, really.
I like that. I like that. It's a bit like the station and what we're called Duggystone Radio. It's not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a theme. It's not a person. And a lot of people call me Dougie, even though that's not my name. But
Yeah.
it allows you to go to different places, doesn't it? And not be be typecasted and stuck. So you can go away now in 3 weeks' time and go, do you know what? I'm going to get a drummer and a bassist, and they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, I will have to do at some point. Well, we'll just see how things go. You know what I mean? But things are sounding good. So, like, at some point, I'm probably going to have to get a band together. You know what I mean? But I don't know who's going to be in it.
Well, we will find out when you do it.
Yeah.
So so you won't harp on to what in previous life too much. We had Roy on last week from the Shed. Was lead singer for the Shed Project. He's now gone on a solo project.
I actually listened to that interview. It was great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've known Roy a while, so it was good to interview him because I know where he's come from, what he's been doing. We've watched them evolve, so it's able to draw on that experience. A lot of the time, I'm speaking to people that we've not got that connection with as such. So it's about getting to know them. It's about introducing them. So it has a slightly different vibe to it than that interview, obviously. So yeah, it's good, Roy. It's good lad. So you was in a band. You've been just come out of another band, haven't you? Or you was in a band before?
Yeah. The Institute,
yeah.
So basically, I've been in bands since I was like 16. So I think like being in a band is like you have an intense relationship with people for a certain amount of time, and then like a lot of the time it just comes to an end for whatever reason, and then you move on to other things. It's almost like a real relationship, you know what I mean? So I think what happened with the Institutes was, I mean, do you know what? I've known Hawley and the lads. First thing I will say is the four of the greatest blokes on this earth, without a doubt. Music besides, but yeah, just top blokes. We had a great time, and I think they were coming to recording the next album, and it was just like, I'm kind of like had a lot going on at the time in my head as well. You know what I mean? I needed I had to get a little bit of help with it, and I just thought, you know what, my best release now, and I think it was the right thing to do, was just like for us to go our own ways. Hawley and the lads will go on to smash it because I've heard what they're doing. It's just incredible. They're just next level, and they deserve it. I just needed to do my thing because I'm in my room every day, like pulling my hair out a lot of the time, not wondering really, kind of like when you're waiting on lads who are always, they've got families. I'm not as busy as those guys, to be honest. So like this has allowed me to just kind of like go, just it's almost like becoming self-employed. When it's your business, you have to work harder. That's what's happened to me, like rather than working for a company.
Yeah, and I get that, and there's no reason why. You're right. I think same as businesses and relationships and bands, that they evolve from there. If you go back to the sound changes and their original ideas change, and that's when people split. And it doesn't always have to be a negative thing. No. Look at people like one of my bands back in the day was the Jam. When they first came out, they were raw, very almost punkish in their approach.
And they tidied up a bit,
and then they tidied up, and then even later Jam, before they split, they went very commercial, and I think it lost its edge. So and businesses like that, and people that you start with originally don't always stay, and they move on for whatever reason because you grow or evolve, or they grow and evolve, and it just doesn't match anymore, and it makes sense. And
I think we still matched. You know what I mean? I just think Hawley and me, like I will say that Hawley gave me the confidence to be able to do this now. If it wasn't for Hawley, I probably wouldn't even be in a band anymore, because like he had the Institutes before I joined. They had a few other singers, and it was like, he knew he was sat on it waiting for the right person to come along. And I feel like I came along and gave it everything I had. You know what I mean? And and I just think Hawley's got so many ideas anyway. And he was I could see that in him. And I mean, he was sending me like fucking piano tracks at like 4 a.m, or him whistling melody ideas. I just knew he was ready to do this. You know what I mean? And he's had to kind of like rewrite a lot of these songs as well. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they'll just be as good, if not better, you know what I mean? So like we're all in a good place. We're all in a really good place.
Yeah, No, that's good. It's nice to hear, and it's nice to know that. But there's no, like I say, there's no, it's not a negative thing, is it? Things change. Things change.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got your track that's going to be. When's that bit getting dropped? You did tell me.
I will I will say that like I started all this not really knowing how I was going to sound. You know what I mean? But then it kind of come together, and I think the stuff that's going on in my head will come across in the album or EP, whichever I decide to do. But yeah, I've got a lot going on. I've got a lot going on in the background with people working with me, not just one person, like a team of people.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just clicked.
It's all right. But yeah, I mean that track's called Mannequin Dream. I mean, I've got an idea in my head of an album cover. You can probably pick it up from that title. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's loads of good tracks on there. There really is.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do, because I know you've got to remaster it. I'm just going to play a little bit of it so people get the vibe of the sound that's coming through. There you go, people. That's all you get until he releases it and remasters it. So,
well, do you know what? That was just done in my room. I've kind of like the beauty of having like these ideas in my head is well, to be fair, you send yourself pretty mad, which is what I'm sure all the best people do. I'm not saying I'm the best, but you certainly have time to like go over it and kind of scrutinize yourself, because now I'm solo. I've had to scrutinize myself, whereas before I'd just send something to Hawley and he'd either ignore me or just say, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? Whereas now I kind of like have to be my own like judge on my own stuff. So that track's evolved. But it's all in my room. I've literally just doing it on this little setup I've got here on my MacBook. So I'll take it to a proper producer and I'll make it like into a proper sound. You know
yeah.
I mean?
No, I do want to play it.
Stuff's just played by me.
I don't want to play it all because I think you've got stuff to do with it and what have you, which is great. But sounds really good, mate. And we wish you all the luck with that. So I thought she was messaging me then.
As soon as I get something proper, you'll be the first person to play it, because this is my first interview outside of the Institute. So.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. I appreciate you coming on, and we do appreciate the bands coming on, because it's great. It's great to chat to people and see. You know, we're watching bands, because we've been doing this show a couple of years now, evolving and their sounds changed, and you know, some of the young lads 16, 17, now 18, 19, and it's brilliant. So thanks for coming on. We appreciate your time, mate. Appreciate your time. Yeah. So you sound. When do you find time to do your music then? Because if you're doing
all the time, like literally, I kind of like I've become a little bit of a recluse. You know what I mean? On purpose. Well, not always on purpose. I kind of like, I know what's best for me, even though this drives me mad. But like, yeah, I don't really go out anymore. I'm literally, so what my week is like, I do 3 longer shifts at work and I get 4 days off a week so I can focus on my music.
Right.
And the last 6 weeks, I've spent 4 days a week and evenings every night just building songs. I've got probably about 35 now. And now I'm just deciding which 5 to use. There's a lot more to do, but yeah, and I do a bit of coaching and that's it really. I don't have a girlfriend or anything now, so I ain't bothered. They wouldn't be able to stand me.
Oh, don't put yourself down, mate. Don't put yourself down.
Nah, I'm not saying I'm ugly, like I'm just saying like I'm annoying.
Hey, everyone's fucking annoying. Everyone's annoying. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Even the people that say they're not annoying are annoying. Do you know what I mean? Oh,
they're the most annoying ones.
Yeah. But no, you're right to do. If you're passionate about something, get stuck into it and do it. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
I've got nothing else to do, mate. I just want to make music now. I'm at that point where I've got like I want to prove a point to myself. I want this to be seriously like special, like because I've been listening to some really good stuff lately, and I kind of set myself at that. When I was younger, I knew I wasn't like quite up there. I mean, I was like a big fan of the Kings of Leon, and I was in a band, and I loved the choral, and I knew in my head when I was watching like Glastonbury and that, I know I'm not there. I think a lot of young bands nowadays convince themselves that they're the best, you know what I mean? When that's their problem, you know what I mean? So they don't kind of like they're not actually that good. There's a lot of bands out there. I won't name them, but there's a lot of 90% of the bands out there nowadays. Just because you can play, don't make them good, and that's not a criticism. It's more that you need to have higher standards for yourself, like, and that's where I'm at now. I've got seriously high standards for myself. It's not because I've got an ego. It's just because like I'll feel like I've failed with it.
Yeah, I get it. No, you're right, and I think there's There's an element of fake it till you make it, or that blinkered confidence which you get with some of the young guys, but they'll soon come down to reality once the penny drops that it's not as easy as everyone thinks, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like you say, it's like anything. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you're going to be mega successful, is it? You know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even a good like musician, really. You know what I mean? The only reason those tracks are in time is because it's fucking fake drummer. You know what I mean?
Mate, you need to stop that negative vibe, because that's not...
No, I'm joking, but no, my focus is to be a good songwriter. That's good. My love is for songwriting. You know what I mean? I don't think you need to be a great musician to be a top songwriter. Look at Bob Dylan. You know what I mean? He wrote 4 albums on 2 chords, 3 chords. You know what I mean? So like, I think it's not really about. I'm not into the twiddliness. I'm into the feel and the phrasing and some of the lyrics. I'm not really a subjective lyric person, but I like to think of just like hooks. That's my thing. I love it. You know, like for instance, the DMAs. I just think they're just a great band. They've massively influenced me. You know, just because I just think it's so simple. You know.
Yeah.
I think the best bands are the ones that people look at and go, "I can do that. I could do that better." They're the best bands.
Yeah, they make it look easy. You mean?
Yeah, and bands like Jimi Hendrix and that. Oh yeah, phenomenons, you know, but you know you're never going to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We can just keep. So what's your so you sounds like you'd like to get a band rocking at some point, or do you want to do touring, or are you gonna?
I think now if I got a band together, it just hold me back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it has to be the right time. You could always, like you say, you can always have a session banding or.
Yeah, it would be a session band, definitely. So I am working with Ryan Every, who's been in many a bands in Cov. We've been in bands together. He's just a really good, solid rhythm guitarist who has some nice little, pedal sounds going on. And a guy called Maxime Picard, he's from Paris. I've worked with him before. He's like really, really unique guitarist, and you'll definitely get to hear a lot of him. He's like, so them two are working with me regularly now. I had a guy from Oslo doing some keys and stuff, but I think he was a little bit, I don't know, probably too busy, you know what I mean? But it'll all come together. But at the minute, I'm still trying to find exactly. I like War on Drugs. I'm really into them at the minute. I love that the production behind the War on Drugs and just the way he sits in the spaces, like with his, you know, there's a lot of bands there's just too much going on. I'm trying to sit back and just get it right in the spaces.
I love it.
Bring out the melodies more.
No, I love it. You're it seems to me you're a complex guy. You've got a lot of stuff going on in your head. And I mean, you know, and I'm saying that in a positive way. And you've got your music is your outlet for that. Frustration, creativeness, whatever you want to call it. I think it's one of those things, isn't it? That's good, mate.
Definitely,
it's good. It's absolutely good. We're looking forward to.
It's been like a therapy session, to be fair. I've really enjoyed it, like.
Mate, that's what it's all about. This, you know what I mean? I don't want to ever hear you say I'm not a good musician. Put yourself down. I want it all to be positive vibe.
No. What I'm saying is I'm not like the best musician in the world. You know, like I can keep in time and I can play chords, but like, you know, I do need to pick on people to get them to add bits in. You know what I mean? And that's what Hawley was the best at. You know what I mean? He's got an ear for it. You know?
Yeah.
But it's definitely taught me a lot. But there's a lot going on with me, like with musically now. I mean, I kind of started this alone from scratch, but in the past few weeks, like some stuff's gone on in the background that's just like blowing me away a bit. It's got me really excited, which gives me focus. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and it's good to talk. I mean, obviously you said it's like a therapy session. It's good to all that stuff that you're dealing with. This goes for anybody, what everyone's doing. If you've got, and you, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur or a musician. You're carrying all that weight on your own, and there's no one to bounce it off. So I think people, not just you, I'm not saying about you, but I think people, you need to remember, get people to listen to your stuff. And what do you think of this, mate? And what do you think of that? You don't have to take a notice, but they might come in and go, that doesn't sound quite right. Oh, why don't you do this with it? Or why don't you do that with it? And I think just if you focus 100% just in your own space, I think you need to get out of that bubble sometimes and do something.
Yeah, I think you can send the songs. I mean, I've got tracks. I don't want to send them to just random people because their feedback's pretty irrelevant to me. You know what I mean? So I always kind of like pick carefully who I send the tracks to. There's a couple of like what I would call like Institute super fans that I've sent the songs to.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Because I know that they'll listen to them and go, yeah, man, I'm talking, you know, like, not because you might send it to one of your mates who actually isn't really your proper mate, and he'll just go, oh, well, I'm not into that, mate, or I don't think you'll make it, you know, like, oh, fuck off, mate.
Yeah, because they've not got the balls to do it themselves. Now,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a special voice for that. Oh, it doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
That's why I do. So the whiny fucking voice. The
Mate, I had one lad that I thought I liked, and like, you know, he was like, oh, mate, yeah, do you think you'll ever make it? I'm like, mate, you're still on a skateboard, you're nearly 50. You know what I mean? Like, playing guitar at 50 is all right, you know what I mean?
But not on a skateboard. Not unless you're,
I'm not 50, by the way.
not unless you're in the Olympics, because wasn't there a guy in the Olympics who was in his 50s on a skateboard? Sure he was, in the Olympic Games.
I don't know, but I want to do that fucking... I'm going to join the breakdancing squad
Yeah,
for next
mate,
year, man. I'll be well in with that.
Looking at Australia's
I'll
breakdancing,
probably win it.
we'll get in that. You can't have been any crapper than her. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Nah.
That had to be a piss take, that, didn't it? That was almost...
Nah, that was like... I don't know if you've seen it, but someone's put the David Brent music behind her doing that dance.
She almost did a Catherine Tate. You know when it's Catherine Tate when they go, oh, we've got all these people who the interpreter's not turned up, and she goes in and just does stupid sounds.
I know. I thought she was like, I don't know. She looked like a cricket player or something.
It's a joke. It had to be a joke. It had to be a publicity stunt or something. Absolutely.
Yeah, I had to be. She had to just like infiltrate it and put the kit on.
Yeah, she's supposed to be an expert in breakdancing. She might be an expert in it, but that's like everything. You might be an expert in how you swim, but if you've never swum, you can't swim. If you've never been a pool, do you know what I mean?
You've got to like turn up to practice.
Yeah, crap. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Well.
But anyway, people, on the next therapy session on Dougie's Atomic Dustbin, it's been wonderful, mate.
I'm going to recommend you to all my mates.
Yeah, mate, you do that. Reasonable rates. But yeah, it's. I love talking to people. I think it's really important, and I think it's important to see what's going on with you. So I think I tried to ask you before. So when's your tracks coming out? Have you got any time frames for your tracks?
Yeah, so obviously, like speaking to like people behind the scenes, and like we're just going to get a timeline together and got like a decent team behind it now. You know, like social media, everything really. So like that's something that will be sorted once contracts are signed, which are just in the process of being done at the minute. You know what I mean? So like solicitors and all that. Once that's all sorted, then it will just be getting it ready. I kind of want to get social media like you know, I want to be there first. So we're looking at November time, I think, and then just loads of singles, and then bring out an EP, and then like try and build a fan base, and then get a decent, really good album out.
Nice. Well, before you go, we normally ask artists to do a drop, so you can either say your name. Well, you don't say your name. Say this is Standard Sound Project, and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio.
This is Standard Sound Project, and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio.
That's absolutely brilliant. Lele Records, you need to go and check them out. Ollie's a brilliant guy. Social media's all over it. They're a record company based in Guernsey, and they also are in Coastal Fire Department. He says, love the interview, by the way. He says, get it off your chest with resident psychiatrist Kirk.
I think you should change the name of the show now.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start a new podcast because I do a radio show, we do music, but I first started doing a podcast interviewing people. So I'm going to release a new podcast, which I'll probably put it on Rumble, because I can get away with more on there. And it's going to be called...
this is the political one you want to do.
And it's going to be called Who the Fuck is Kurt Pickstone?
I like that. That. That's good. I heard that the other day.
That's what we're going to do. We get people on chatting. We can do all sorts on that show. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and I don't normally talk to people from Nuneaton as well, like, so this is nice.
I'm not from Nuneaton.
It's not that I don't talk to them, I just can't understand them. You know what I mean? So it's nice.
Good job. I'm not then, isn't it?
Exactly. So it's nice.
Treacle Town.
Is that why you do this? So you can actually just talk to people?
Mate, I don't fucking speak to anyone around here. Bollocks to that.
Nah,
I live in Whitestone, mate. I live on the outskirts.
Isn't that like the bit with houses?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, but it's great because when you say it, everyone thinks, because down the road here they're all massive. There's loads of houses been totaled and then rebuilt, and they're huge. And we live in a semi. So down
I thought
that.
you were going to say we live in this shed.
No, he could live in this shed. I've got 2 sheds. I've got one in the one down the garden. Anyway, you're going to have to come over at some point, mate, and we can have
Yes,
a
definitely. Invite me, I'll be there. Definitely.
See,
100%.
I've set it up so we've got a podcasting space here. See that there? So there's a chair there,
Yeah, that looks class.
microphone, cameras. Eddie's going to come in, but my intention... Oh, I think I've lost my camera. My intention is to do some physical with people, physical podcasts in the studio, long format, so we can come talk about any crap you want.
Bring a guitar and just do
bring
some
your guitar,
crap.
do a session. So let's sort it out, man. Let's sort it out on one of your 4 days. On one of your 4 days off.
Well, see you tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm working tomorrow, riding my motorcycles, so I do test riding, so that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, love that.
Anyway, it's been wonderful having you on, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Wish you all the success. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being open and honest with us. And, yeah.
Of course. Lovely show. Love it, mate. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's nice to get feedback like that from people because we do this, like you doing your music, and we don't always know what's going on the other side of the screen, who's watching stuff and not commenting. So don't be disarmed, people. If you're passionate about something, keep doing it. I'm going to let you get on with your evening, mate. Go and chill out or go and create another 15 tracks.
Oh, yeah. Just quickly, I'm playing my debut gig on the 31st at the Victoria in London. And I've got... that'll be a wicked night of this month. Yeah, and it's also my birthday. So if anyone's free, come down and watch. I'll be first on, but I'll be making sure it's a good show. Promise you that.
I'll put that in the show.
And also, I'll be doing a few dates with Marseille coming up. So that'll be awesome.
Oh, man, we love them. We played their track tonight, over 6 minutes long. That's one of the bands that we've been watching. I was saying before where I've watched them evolve and grow and love what they're doing and where they've come from to where you can see them going. And
I think them in the Institutes are the ones to watch for me.
Definitely, mate. And you'll be right behind them. In fact, you should be on the stage with them with your own vibe, with your Standard Sound Project.
I'll be right behind them with a mop and bucket.
Anyway, that's been another introducing people, and it's been wonderful to speak to you. When we'll catch up again. Definitely we'll do something here with you, mate.
We will. Wicked. All right, thanks for having me. Take care, guys.
No worries, mate. Thanks a lot.
See you in a bit. All the best.
See you, man. See you,
guys.
So we've overrun slightly, haven't we, people, by 10 minutes or so. Wasn't he great? It's really good. Yeah, I'm going to... So Lele Records says, a physical podcast sounds like Keep Fit. Yeah, it's like hot yoga, innit? I'm not going to play another track because I'm about done. I'm sure you are. But thanks for him coming on. Go and check him out when he releases his stuff. And this podcast, this video from this will be on YouTube. Thanks for Janice for producing the show. Thanks for Lele Records for the grunge section. Kev B for the Kev B section. Our interview with Standard Sound Project. You for showing up and watching this crazy show and supporting us week in, week out. Go and discover the bands. Go and follow them. Share what we do. And have I missed anyone? I hope I've not. But until next time, Kirk out.
Duggysatomicdustbin. So let's turn on the show, yeah. Underground music never sounds so good. Kirk and Janice are playing what'll grab us, so try not to spill your tea, yeah. Underground music never sounds so. Underground music never sounds so good.
This is Kate Bush. Who the fuck is Kirk Pickstone?
Ask me, girlfriend.